Run for Salmon started last year around September, and it was an effort to call attention to the salmon runs that are being severely threatened right now in Northern California and the whole entire west coast of America, really. And this is our efforts to return the salmon to the McCloud River, and it comes in through the Sacramento River, in through the Bay Area, and through the San Francisco, San Joaquin Bay Delta is what they call it. And it's the biggest estuary on the whole west coast of the United States, and right now it's being severely threatened due to water consolidation, water mongering, really, for big agricultural businesses in the Central Valley of California and Southern California, where they grow all kinds of crops in the desert, monoculture crops, and the big corporations control that, and so they need a lot of water for that, and so they're taking it all from Northern California, and because of that, it's collapsed many ecosystems. It's collapsed the salmon runs, and they're threatening right now to bring more water down south via these twin tunnels that they're about 35 miles long, and they say you can drive a whole truck through it, like a tractor truck trailer through that. And if they do this, the scientists say it could collapse it's going to collapse the whole estuary in the San Francisco Bay. And so in an effort to call attention to that, in an effort to save everything, we call attention to the salmon and how they can save us all from that environmental catastrophe, because as my mom says, they have no idea what that could do, because they never experienced such a big collapse of a whole estuary ecosystem. So we know that it's going to be bad for all people and all the animals and all the land, and for dollars, for trillions of dollars that none of us see. And they're manipulating the government for this right now. The high-paid lobbyists help influence these decisions. So the salmon is our way to call attention to all of this and restore our natural food source to our indigenous people who are in badly need of to go back to our traditional diets. And there's a spiritual realm. It's always spiritual. That's the realm that most people can relate to. But in the higher spiritual realms, there's a higher calling and meaning for that. So the Run for Salmon starts on September 9th, 2017, and it goes for 2 weeks. And we start at the San Francisco Bay Area, starting in Vallejo, California, at Glen Cove, and it journeys from there to Sacramento, where we do benefit concerts and we hang out with the local indigenous people, and we gather together to say prayers for the salmon in that regard. And we also lobby the Sacramento, the capital right there, and try to raise awareness through that way. And then from there, we make our journeys. Well, by the way, we boat there, and we run/boat, and then we boat to Colusa, and then we ride bikes from Colusa to Chico. From Chico, we ride bikes further to Corning, and then we run from Corning all the way up to Redding, and then we stop in Redding, and then we get back into canoes, and you can either choose to get in canoes or you can horseback ride. Well, not everybody has a horse, but a lot of us are going to be horseback riding, and then we end on the McCloud River, and that's the whole ceremony right there. And there's lots of things happening in between that. It's a great time, actually. It's really fun. Lots of interesting people show up for this, and we're expecting a pretty big turnout for this year. So we're trying to restore our salmon, and in an effort to do this, it's a long story, but we're also going to New Zealand. All our salmon is in New Zealand, by the way, and we're trying to get New Zealand salmon back up to the McCloud River, which they shipped in the early 1900s. The salmon no longer come up our river because of the Shasta Dam. It completely blocks the passage, and it has been there since 1940s. So if anybody else, if you wanted to help, we're doing a fundraiser right now for GoFundMe, and I wanted to show you the site for it right there. And if you can see that, that's where we can donate and help out this cause. In our salmon return efforts, for everybody, not just for us, but for everybody, and next 7 generations even. So that's it. Ayo, thank you for listening.